by chiefs and opinion leaders of the Abudu royal family in the wake of attempts to review 1930 Constitution for a selfish interest. It is organized here in Yendi on Thursday, 21st October 2021. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, good morning to you and to the chiefs and people of Dagon. We have invited you to this press briefing to state our Royal Gates position on what is currently going on regarding the processes towards the review of 1930 Dagon Constitution. We have followed keenly what is going on, but have rather painfully come to the conclusion that the process is not only resurrecting the two gates dispute, but creating another quagmire for Dagon to behold. You may recall that on 23rd June 2021, some of our chiefs wrote a letter as, quote, concerned chiefs of Dagon to His Majesty Ndayana, stating germane issues for which they are unable to participate in the 1930 Dagon Constitution review. For the avoidance of doubt, we will paraphrase some of their concerns here for your readership and appreciation. 1. That Abudu representatives in the various thematic committees have not been part of the process. They have neither been invited nor given an opportunity to participate in reviewing the 1930 document, let alone to produce a first draft. So, all the subcommittees which Abudu representatives have been recommended for, be it legal committee, advisory committee, or whatever committee, none of Abudu representatives have had the opportunity to participate in the process. 2. That it is completely absurd, customarily and historically preposterous to not only remove Gushena from being the head and member of the selection committee as contained in the 1930 Constitution, but to suggest that Kugana is head of selection committee of 4, namely Kugana, Tugrinam, Batina, and Gombe. 3. That before 1969, all selections of Yanas of Dagbon have been done under the leadership of the Gushena, and that each time the selection committee met, Kugana, Tugrinam, and Gombe have all participated. That is in the past without any hitches. What has changed? 4. That attempts at legitimizing the Andani positions, the Andani family's position that Kugana is head of Long Pamba cannot be accepted by the Abudu royal family because it erodes our time-tested tradition, revives our Abudu Andani feud, mires our chieftaincy institution, and topples the ship of Dagon peace and reconciliation. This letter needed a serious attention so as to take a relook at the posturing of those behind the review of the 1930 document and correct the anomalies therein. Ladies and gentlemen, we thought that the incongruities as espoused in the letter by the concerned chiefs cannot heal Dagon. We have believed that what Dagon needs now in the process to update our law is to offer an opportunity for every thorny issue to be reviewed in an open, frank, and dispassionate atmosphere to engender the peace, unity, trust, and progress we all yearn for. On 9 July, ladies and gentlemen, 2021, our chiefs received an emotionally charged letter bereft of conciliatory gestures and giving us doubts as to its authenticity. The author or authors did not only muddy the waters the more, but failed woefully to deal with those resurfacing embers of the very issues that once tore us apart. If the purpose of this review was to put Dagon on an open keel with united and progressive states of the world, then we cannot escape a review of these thorny issues raised in our letter. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, to the gravamen of the Supreme Court's ruling, the author or authors copiously quoted to make a case for those qualified to nominate a Yana to ascend to the skin of Yene. That is, if you look at point 7 of the Supreme Court's ruling, it vividly states, I quote, that selection to the skin alternates between the two royal ruling gates of Abudu and Andani. End of quote. It is indisputable and public knowledge that the occupants of the skin of Yene from 1974 to 2002 has been from the Andani, has been an Andani family royal. If you look at the current Yana, he hails from the Andani royal family. This was done, and the Abudu royal family accepted this because we wanted to ensure that we put even the Supreme Court aside and accept that an Andani family, even violating the Supreme Court's ruling, should be a Yana. Which Supreme Court today is supposed to be set aside because we want to make Kugana the head of the Yuapamba because of a supposed Olenu Committee reports which was upheld by the Supreme Court. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, assume without admitting that the Supreme Court of 1986 upheld the Olenu Committee report, thus error of judgment and misinterpretation of the law suffice to change what the true custom and tradition of Dagon is. In any case, the Dagon State Council, is the Dagon State Council a creature of statute? We should not, under any circumstance, allow the product of technicalities of law and or interpretation determine what the true custom is. Instead of hiding under the cloak of 1986 Supreme Court ruling, we would rather expect to be educated by anyone in our history when Kugana ever headed a selection committee and which Yana that selection committee selected. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, isn't it strange that a second draft is produced and all the grave worries we raised earlier have still not been attended to, and that Abudu representatives at various subcommittees have still not been involved in the process? It now appears to us that the new constitution is already a decided one, and what anyone else says is irrelevant. We say so after carefully looking at what is happening. The people of Dagon need to be told at this juncture that there is a calculated attempt to shelve the truth about what even our own chiefs are agreeing to at the various committee sittings to be the truth about the custom. When Yuapamba, for instance, met in Yendi, Bushena narrated to the committee his role as head of Yuapamba and the selection committee. This fact was repeated recently when lawyer Mumuni sat Bushena and Kugana down to educate the committee on who the head of Yuapamba and of the selection committee has always been. At each of these sittings, Kumbuna corroborated Bushena's presentations as undiluted fact of history. These facts have been repeated time without number by Patonlana and Tolana until they and other concerned chiefs stopped attending meetings because of the undemocratic and unfair means by which the two consultants have deployed to subtly put what they want in the new constitution through. Indeed, ladies and gentlemen of the press, the Abudu royal family may be right in seeing what is going on as a surreptitious adventure or bite the bullet tactics from two persons under the tutelage of no person other than Ibrahim Mahama, whose self-seeking agenda since 1969 has been to keep Dagon perpetually in a state of anarchy. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, we want the people of Dagon and of Ghana to know that we as a family have called for proportionate representation from the beginning of this exercise. At a stage of first draft of the review work, we detected that it is only lawyer Mohamed Mumuni and Ibrahim Abbas, retired, both Andani family sympathizers as consultants, doing the work. Our chiefs officially raised eyebrows, and their calls were unheeded. Now, we have copies of a second draft still done solely by the select few, without recourse to bringing on board sympathizers of the Abudu royal family, nominated to various committees. Question is, what is there to hide that we can't open up the system for participation from Abudu royal family sympathizers? We are left with no other option under these circumstances than to pull out completely from the exercise. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, the work thus far is for an interest which defeats genuine reforms of our constitution. And this disaster, if approved, is a recipe for chaos, disunity, mistrust, and litigations. Dagon interests should be more paramount and protected than anybody's gains. We, as a family, cannot be parties to this unjust erosion of our custom and tradition as bequeathed to us by Naibewa. God bless Dagon. God bless Ghana. Thank you.